So we've taught our children, we were taught as infants to say hello and goodbye.
Yeah, I realize not every person who dies is celebrity, but they're special.
Yeah.
They mean something to somebody, and they just want to share their story. And we help them do that. That's kind of a really cool thing.
The most special things you can have in a funeral, the things that you'll always remember for families, are the things that actually don't cost any money.
Death has been something that people have tried to isolate, and we're saying it needs to be integrated, to integrate it into life, so that the person, it's not a reincarnation or something like that. It's just recognizing and honoring and facilitating the natural circle of life.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Undertaking the Podcast. Kind of a late night Thanksgiving episode. I am joined by a guest, and I'm going to introduce her momentarily, but let's hit our sponsors real quick. What an evening for CertifiedSafetyTraining.org. Mark Harrison over there to keep you not only OSHA compliant, if you're a veterinarian, but funeral homes, crematories, cemeteries, monument companies, hospice, death care compliance services, all kinds of things across the board. You can find them, CertifiedSafetyTraining.org. Mark Harrison's over there. Give him a call. We've had some ads, too, from him as well. Good little, the did you know? Kind of, I guess that's the term, the way Brian says it, did you know? So there's that. Mark Harrison, when it comes to certified safety training. We met him a few years ago. Sorry, guys. Don't move that. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're going to already hear who my guest is. But we met him, I think, in Chicago 2019. He kind of just appeared at our booth and got to know him. And he's been able to kind of help us out with some things, especially with OSHA. And I know OSHA, guys, it's always just, I hate to say this, but it's horrible. Let them keep you compliant. Let Mark tell you. Let him be the professional, the expert when it comes to this and tell you what you need to be doing, which honestly makes it a lot easier. So they keep you compliant. Guys, Garfield Refining, GarfieldRefining.com. What do you do with your precious metals when they're left over? Here at a crematory, that's something we have to worry about. We have a crematory. We have metals that we have to recycle. We have to figure out what we do with them legally. Every state is different as to how you can and cannot handle these metals, or what you can and can't do with them. So Garfield Refining knows that state to state, what their laws are, what their regulations are. They will help you with that. GarfieldRefining.com is a proud sponsor of Undertaking the Podcast. Next, we move into MatthewsAurora.com. Matthews Aurora Funeral Solutions. A friend of the show, Nathan McCullough, is over there. A few other people we know over there. They do all kinds of things when it comes to cremation merchandise, when it comes to urns, caskets. I believe they do a little bit of everything, stationery and whatnot. So their solution center when it comes to sitting with a family and really being able to design a casket, from the ground up for them is pretty awesome. I use it a lot. So this is something I do have experience with. So Matthews Aurora, we appreciate you guys. Friends of the show. NationalMortuaryShipping.com, guys, number 4 on the sponsorship list for this Thanksgiving episode. Listen, I know that my father at times struggled because he wasn't quite networked, I guess, the way some of us are in funeral service. He wasn't the one. He didn't go to a lot of the conventions. He stuck around home and did his thing here at the funeral home. And that's good. He was focused, but at the same time, what do you do when you get a call out of California and you don't know anybody from that area? You don't know anybody in that area. Luckily, he had his son the last 12 years, yada, yada. But before that, what did he do? National Mortuary Shipping, when it comes to international shipping as well as domestic shipping, they can help you with livery. They can help you with embalming, graveside services, all kinds of different things. Call them 1-800-321-0185, nationalmortuaryshipping.com. .com, friends. And we always have this one, and this one's I'm going to be thankful for, but I got to put it in here on the computer screen. That way I can do it justice. And I am on call tonight, so you will hear my phone go off. And then, that's a free ad for ASD right there when it comes down to it. So you will hear my phone go off a few times. It has been a busy day at the funeral home, guys. So here we are, Indiana Donor Network. When it comes to thankfulness, when it comes to these guys, there's a young lady sitting next to me who I'm getting ready to introduce. Her grandfather got 9 more months with us because of donation, because of him being a recipient of blood as well as tissue. So IndianaDonorNetwork.org, very good friends of the show as well. Mackenzie Huey's over there. She is the funeral director liaison. And if you're listening to this from another state, if you don't have one of those, if your OPO or organ procurement organization does not have a funeral director liaison, get one, figure it out. It is important, guys. The communication, that's something that has to happen. It's frustrating, I think, when it comes down to it, when it's frustrating with anything, with you don't communicate, whether it's within your own household or whether it be, within the funeral home or just your professional setting. So IndianaDonorNetwork.org has bettered us, we've bettered them as well because of communication. So we appreciate them. Now, here we are. I'm going to say this. This was very random. This young lady walked through my door, and I said, "Hey, do you want a podcast?" And she said, "Me and you?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." Grabbed her, pulled her in here, and I think she's a little bit nervous. It's okay if she is, but Kennedy Ballard, my daughter, as she covers her face, is sitting here with me, podcasting tonight, and we are doing a Thanksgiving episode. We are doing something a little bit different. Thanking people that mean something to us, as well as, thanking people within the funeral industry. Just being thankful, right? Am I right? Mm-hmm. Well, say hello, Kennedy.
Hello, and finally, that long introduction. Why do we even have sponsors? But
you got to pay the bills, all right? It is what it is. We do have sponsors. You got to have sponsors. But go ahead.
What am I supposed to talk about?
Well, what are you thankful for? Like, tomorrow is a big day, all right? Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And here we are at 7:39 at night recording a kind of a quick episode to just put it out there what we're thankful for. What are you thankful for? How old are you, by the way?
11.
11-year-old. What is an 11-year-old right now in 2023 sitting here with their dad podcasting? What are they thankful for?
Good food.
Well, that's a win. I can't deny that.
Oh,
that's a win.
Gigi's food.
Gigi's food.
Oh yeah.
Are you thankful for your friends? Thankful for swimming?
Yeah.
Well, what else are you thankful for?
You guys?
Yeah. Are you thankful for funeral service?
I'm not to that part of life yet, but sure.
Well, I'm thankful for funeral service.
We know you are.
Well, and I think the reason, though, is you got to understand you wouldn't have some of the stuff you have without funeral service. So I want to tip my hat to funeral service in general. I think this year's been a unique year anyway for me, and I think for my family and many others. I don't want to just concentrate on us by any means, but funeral service has been tough, has been real tough this past year. But I also want to be thankful for it because, there's a lot of things, Kennedy, that if we didn't do a good job, there's a lot of things that probably you wouldn't get to do because people wouldn't necessarily want to come use Daddy's services and use Daddy's funeral home and whatnot. So, oh my goodness, it didn't sound good.
It didn't.
It's not exciting. So
it's exciting.
Not exciting. I said not exciting. So you've always wanted to be on the podcast. Here we are. We're just sitting here. Well, you can't go silent on me. I mean, what do you got? Because I got a few adult things I'm going to talk about here momentarily, but. What's the biggest? Let me ask you this: 11 years old, you've grown up around the funeral home. What's one thing that makes you nervous about the funeral home?
meeting new people, but when they're dead.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's legitimate, I guess, yeah. Meeting new people, but they're dead. So explain that a little bit more, I guess.
Like,
when you say meeting somebody, but they're dead, what does that mean?
like, it takes me, like, an hour or two, like, to, like, get the guts to just go up there and look. Like, my sister.
Well, we don't go up and look. We go up and pay our respects.
Yeah.
You guys, and let me preface this. When you guys are down at the funeral home with me, you're watching me, you know, maybe do some cosmetics or whatnot there in the chapel, some touch-ups before families get in. And then, you know what's funny to me? It's not even funny. It's just, I think it's worthy to be said. You know, I always have my daughters, they always ask me what the person's name was. If they had any kids.
Date of death and how old are they?
Yeah, and you always ask that. And I always, you know, I look at that as always an opportunity to share that person's story one more time, one last time, you know, and even though, and I guess that's how you can say you can meet them, is your dad, you know, you're there with me, and you get to bear witness to that, and I introduce you to them. So we did that with Nana, remember? I remember you guys when I was doing cosmetics on her. Golly, I remember we did a Thanksgiving episode a few years ago about that and talked about it, but you guys sat there and watched me do that.
I remember when we came into Nana's funeral, and you were like, it's okay, guys, she's just asleep, because you didn't think we knew, but in my head I was like, what is he doing?
I don't remember saying she's just asleep. I don't think I would have said that.
You did.
She looks like she's sleeping. I would not have.
She said she's asleep.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Okay, we're gonna agree to disagree here publicly on the podcast, because there's no way that I told you. Just the same thing with Gaga. When you saw him there, he is dead. So they're not sleeping. They are not sleeping.
Well,
the reality of it is the whole point is yeah, it's true. The whole point is to make them acceptable and recognizable. That way, you know, they look like they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Like peacefully, being there peacefully. You know what I mean? So, excuse me, that's the overall goal, you know. But at no point did I tell you they were sleeping. If I said that, I mean, then publicly here I'm going to say oops, because that's we try to be very accurate with you guys. You know what I mean?
Then go ahead and say oops.
I'm not going to say oops because I didn't say that. But it's all right. We'll argue another time on the podcast. So, well, Kennedy, you got anything else you want to add? Long pause. But, well, how about we do this? I'm going to move into a little bit of some things I want to talk about here. More of adult talk, if that's okay. And then I'll close out the podcast and go from there, okay? So if you want, I'm going to ask you to step out. Is that okay?
Bye.
All right. Love you, buddy. Appreciate you. Gosh, she's got a bag of chips and all kinds of candy. All right, Mouthy, I love you. All right. There's something about it. I don't know what it is. I'm 11 years old. She wants to be on the podcast, and all of a sudden, bam, she's quiet. Doesn't say a word. So, well, I guess doesn't say a word, but she's got some. I'm gonna get that ego. I'm not a big fan of ego at all. Not a fan of ego at all. I'm recording. Shut the door. Shut the door, please. See, here we go. So, not a fan of ego at all. So she I heard that a little bit in her voice, but it's okay. She's 11. So, I don't think that I said that my grandmother was sleeping, but, maybe she's embellishing a little bit like her dad. Who knows? But anyway, so wow, let's get a little bit deeper here. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for my family. We always, you know, here's what I'll say. Brian and I always did a podcast that was, the Thanksgiving episode was always a big episode, always a huge episode for us. And I don't know, we worked hard on those episodes because they meant something, you know, and, I thought maybe this one, I throw out a little bit to me, or a little bit out on my own here, just because I think that I just want to talk about a few things. What am I thankful for, first off? I am thankful, first off, for life. I will say that. I'm thankful for not only life, but I'm thankful for my wife also. My wife this year has been it's just been a year, an unpeaceful year, very unpeaceful year. But I've been able to witness peace, and that's something I'm going to touch on here in a little bit. But my wife has just been a rock in a lot of ways for me. And I think for our girls, and she just doesn't get the kudos she deserves by any means, and I want to give it to her. So from a standpoint of Thanksgiving, my wife, top notch, and I just love her and appreciate her, and I can't say it enough. The second thing, I think thankfulness is work. Thankful to have a career, thankful for funeral service. Although funeral service has been exceptionally hard here, this last year, but I'm thankful for it. I think I've got to be thankful for these situations too that pop up. Not only are they learning situations, but they are definitely seasons as well, seasons in life. But work has been challenging. Sitting with these people and relating with them and feeling it and understanding it at the table with these families, and it's easier to tear up. It's easier to talk to these people about what they're going through and say, I get it. I don't want to say I understand, but I see you. That's the one thing I always want to make sure people realize is I see you. I know that's an odd movement, and people say, well, what does it mean, Ryan? It just means I know this. I know people are going through it. I know this last year we've had a few individuals disappear from this earth, absolutely disappear from this earth, that we're going through some tough times, man, and dealing with some things. And I want people to understand in this industry, funeral directors, I am thankful for you. I am thankful that you show up. I can tell you this, I left work late this evening, and I'm on call all night tonight. Tomorrow's a holiday, and there's quite the possibility I may be up all night tonight. It is what it is. Somebody across the world is in that same boat and is going to have to get up and is going to have to do something. It's going to have to be there for that family. I'm thankful for you all, male, female, whatever funeral director you are. I am thankful that you guys show up. You answer your phone, because I know it's hard. I know funeral service is tough. I know it's demanding, and it takes a lot away. People always say, and this is a tough realization for me too, but I saw a meme, I guess, a while back that talked about the only people that remember that you worked late are your kids. And that hit different for me. It definitely hit different. But, we have to. That's what we do. This is not a 9-to-5 or not a 9-to-5 job. You get that death call at 5 p.m. right before you're getting ready to go home. There's another 3 hours there till 8, 9 o'clock. Thank you. That's what I want to say. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for stepping up to the plate. You don't hear it. You don't hear it enough by any means. And I just want to say it to y'all. I think that you guys and gals are underappreciated in all aspects for what you have to deal with and what you have to see. So it needs to be said. What I pray for you all, and I wouldn't say that this has happened for me this year. I pray for peace for everybody. I've never really necessarily appreciated peace as much as I do now. And especially not only the last few months, but since the last year, 2023 has been an unpeaceful year, and an unpeaceful year for many. I pray for all of you. Peace. I hope for peace for all of you. I think it's undervalued. We don't need the drama. We don't need the headaches. Peace is something that I look for heavily now in a lot of different avenues, within passion projects, within what I'm doing in life, peace within the podcast, just peace in general. Peace within my family, that's a big one. I think when someone just disappears, and the challenges and the ripple effect from that are tough at times, and it's just tough. So peace to all of you. That is what I'm willing peace to all of you right now. And I hope you can hear it in my voice, because you all deserve it. You all deserve some time to smile. And, so I'll say this, some realizations, guys, and maybe 2 realizations that over this last year that I'm thankful for, because I think they've had the 2 realizations that have made me be more of a man, and stepping up to the plate when it comes to, life, my marriage, business, funeral service, sitting with families. Over this past year, I realized this, and don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to say, I don't want to say people haven't been there. I don't want to say, people haven't been there to help and whatever else, and there is that. But it's a realization. There's a realization for me that no one is coming. It's on me. It's on me. When it comes to life, no one's bailing me out now. When it comes to my own issues, my own problems, my own things that I'm dealing with, no one's coming. That's the biggest thing that I've realized over this past year. When at one point someone was there, no one's coming now, and that's fine. But that's the season. That's the difference in life, and that's the difference of where I'm at now than I was too. And you hear that in my father's chair. You hear that in those episodes. I'm not in the same place I was then versus now. This isn't a cry for help. None of this is. It's just honestly me venting. It's a vent, a healthy vent, if you ask me. I mean, I think it's been crucial for me to talk about this situation, because I don't know that anybody ever really does like this and goes quite as deep. So the other realization is there are no safety nets anymore. No safety nets. That is gone. That has disappeared completely. So, and that was a tough one, because you never realized the safety net was there until it wasn't. You didn't realize no one was coming until they weren't, So a lot of, and I'm sure that's odd to kind of say it that way, but, you don't know what you don't know. I've got a hat that says that, and I believe that. I truly believe that. Until you're there, you don't get it. Nobody gets it. But I think as a man, I think as a father, as a husband, this is, movement forward. And like I said, realizations, I think, are heating change for me in a lot of ways. And there's realizations across the board in all professional aspects of my life. So, it's been different. Past few weeks have been different. Everything's been different. Everything is different. Nothing is what it seems. And I would say that that has been the essence of the year this year. So I do want to make sure people understand, and maybe this is scattered, maybe it isn't. I'm fine. I'm not, I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just kind of venting a little bit. But we have lost a lot of people. A lot of people have disappeared this year. Integral people within our profession. Just Todd Van Beck. I mean, golly, it's just been, Toby Day. We miss Toby. I just want people to know, I know that people are lonely out there. I know that there's funeral directors that are lonely. I know that the holidays are going to be lonely. I know that tomorrow is a different day for me, and it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge for my mom. It's going to be a challenge for everybody. All I want you to know and hear in my voice is that I get it and I see you. You don't have to be lonely. So please don't be lonely over this holiday. Call me. I'll talk to you. I mean, I just hate it that we're to a point in life where, and maybe it's just my age, I don't know, but we do really have people just disappearing left and right, especially funeral directors in this profession. I think mental health within this profession is not looked at well enough, and associations, I don't know what we can do there. Boy, that would be something to really talk about and really look into, but I think our mental health within this profession could really use some work. And I personally like I said, I'm on the campaign of saying, we see you. I get it. Everybody's dealing with something different. I have talked to 2 other friends, close friends of mine, and close friends of the podcast, of which they will understand. I'm going through some stuff. They are as well. And I've been a part of those conversations. And I've listened to that. I'm not alone. So I know I'm not the only person, guys. I know I'm not. So it's evident. So we see you. My friends that have been going through it, that I know that I've talked to, I see you. I see you. I'm here. Sometimes the ministry of presence is more important than trying to talk to somebody and trying to fix them. Sometimes presence is more important in those moments when they are really going through those times, and I see you guys. I definitely see you guys. So there's challenges in all walks of life, and I think within the funeral profession, there is that. So you don't have to be lonely. You don't have to, how do I say this? Jeez. You don't have to be by yourself. You can call somebody, call one of us. I've had numerous people reach out. Hey, I'm getting ready to embalm my grandmother. What do I do? Hey, my father just died. I've never done this before. What am I supposed to do here? And these are people within the profession, Reach out, guys. Don't be lonely. Don't be by yourself. And don't make, if you are lonely, If you are lonely, don't make any emotional decisions. Call and talk to somebody first. Just call and talk. So that's all I can say about that. So, well, I don't know that I have a whole lot to add. We hit the episode pretty good. No question about that. So, guys, I appreciate all of you. I just want you to know, I know funeral directors are going through it. I've seen it. I've witnessed peace. I would say this year has not been peaceful whatsoever. All the way up until this day here. Still not peaceful. But we're getting there. And I will say this. I'm witnessing peace more by sitting and talking with families, hugging, loving on them, and just showing them that you're not alone. There's other people that have dealt with this too, and we're going to get you through it. It may not be the easiest, but let me show you the way. Let me show you the way. So, all right, guys. Well, that's our Thanksgiving episode, huh? Ryan by himself, just belting it out to you. So, well, friends, rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend. Undertakingthepodcast.com is that website. info@undertakingthepodcast.com is the email. As always, friends, please remember to buckle your safety belt, watch for deer, and rock and roll.